Hey friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we usually talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. I asked for questions in my YouTube community tab and also on Instagram, and I got a bunch, and so I'm really excited to sit down and answer them today. But before I start answering questions, I want to show you the shirt that I'm wearing. This shirt was a gift from Kenny Nicole. I'm going to link her channel down below if you want to go check her out. She talks about some really cool polishes. We both have a cat named Artie, and so I think bother her every time she posts a picture of her cat or a story about her cat because I just think he's adorable. And I have 3 cats. Nobody asked me that question, but that's a little bonus question answer for you in this video. I have 3 cats. I have Artie, Inky, who I think you've seen in a video on my channel before, and Alara. We have 3 cats. I love them, and she just knew that I love cats. I saw a mug in one of her stories that said, I'm only talking to my cats today, and I jokingly told her I needed that mug. So being the most generous and incredible person that she is, she said, oh, I'll buy it for you and I'll send it to you. She sent it to me along with lots of other cat goodies, including this t-shirt, and I just felt like I had to wear it in this video. So let's sit down and talk about some questions. All right, so some of these questions are about nail polish, some of them are more just about my life. I'm gonna just answer them at random, and I'm just gonna cut us off when we get to a point that I feel like this video is long enough. So I may not get to all of them, but I'll do the best that I can. The first one I'm reading from my computer is from Warrior Girl. She says, where are you from and how did you get started on this path of making YouTube vids? And there's a couple other people who asked me the same thing, like why did I start making videos? I grew up in New England. I've lived in New England for almost my entire life. I spent a couple years elsewhere, but I've spent most of my time in one of the New England states, and that's where I currently live now. And I got started making videos because I honestly got started making videos because I was getting into vegan and cruelty-free polish. I was looking at Zoya's website, and they just had so many colors, and I had no idea what to buy. And I was trying to look up comparisons, and I just found it really, really hard to find good comparisons of the colors. There were some people out there making awesome ones. Mara from Be Free Have Fun was one of the first channels that I ever subscribed to because she does comparisons. But I was like, I just want there to be more of this information so that I can pick the best colors that I want. And then I started watching channels like Heather D and Ali Yvette, and they just talk about polish. They talk a lot about Zoya, which is why I kind of found them first. And they just like have an enthusiasm for nail polish that is contagious, and they seem like they were having so much fun making videos that I decided that I also wanted to have fun and make some videos. So yeah, that's it. I sat down, I filmed my first few videos with my iPhone, and here we are today. Stephanie Sue asks, do you think it's necessary to toss polish after a couple of years? Doesn't polish last forever? I don't think you need to toss your polish after a couple of years. It does last forever. I think if you take really good care of it, the more you use a polish, the more air that's gonna get inside of it. And so, you know, if you're opening it every day to use it, it's gonna get thicker faster. But if you're using it once or twice a year, what I do is I just like wipe the top off before I put it away and then screw it back on. So I try to make sure that there's no polish like on the, you know, little rings or the top of it, so that it will close nice and tight. So no, I don't think you need to throw it away. I mean, if it gets gross and like smells funny, I would throw it away. But I've never had that happen to me, but I've heard of other people having it happen to them. Okay, do you ever use glitter toppers? What are good combos? How about nail art or special effects techniques like marbling, sponging, stamping? Susan Corvalin asked that. I really don't do that much of that stuff. Honestly, I think because I'm impatient. I just like to paint my nails and be done. I like that process of painting my nails, but I don't have the patience to sit down and water marble. I also really like swatching. I've really enjoyed trying lots of polishes and taking photos of them and having swatch photos. And so I feel like if I put an hour into a water marbling manicure, if I'm gonna take it off to swatch the next day, that would be kind of sad. So I don't really do any of that. I'm curious about getting into some kind of very like low-key nail art, like stripes and dots and things like that, but I don't really have plans to getting into stamping or water marbling or any more of those like really involved things. I do think that there are some people out there who have amazing channels who do lots of really intricate, cool nail art. Mama Loves Nails is somebody who does really cool stamping stuff. She does like a mystery mani every week, and so I'll link her down below if you're looking for somebody who does a little bit more challenging work than I do. Jenny Wu asks what my favorite unique polishes are, so not just like one cream or one shade. She wants multi-dimensional, interesting patterns. I think that as far as indie brands go, I think Cirque Colors and Polish do consistently incredible formulas that are not one-dimensional, that are, you know, a shimmer or a glitter, and they have a wide range of different finishes that they do. I just recently started swatching for Polish, so, you know, they have now sent me one collection that I got to review in exchange for my honest review. Cirque, have never received any PR from Cirque, so I just really, really like them. Heather D turned me on to Cirque. She recommended them like a long time ago when I was looking for a good indie brand for creams, but both of those brands I think do lots of really interesting formulas really well, and would definitely have polishes that fit that question you're asking. Kushi S asks if I could suggest some Zoya polishes which we can wear all year round. I mean, I think you can wear any polish you want whenever you want to, but polishes that I think of for wearing all year round are some of their more neutral polishes. So for example, I really, really like Brigitte. I really, really like Mia. I really like Jack, which is one of the newer, you know, kind of like tan cream polishes. I think those are ones you can wear all the time. If you're looking for something that's a little more exciting, I think that they're like neutral pixie dusts. They're like Bar and Godiva and Tomoko. There's a couple that are like gold neutrally colors, and I really, really like those. I think that they're a little bit exciting, a little bit more fun, but you can wear them at any time of the year. So I will link up above. I did a comparison of those polishes, so I'll link that up above. Ooh, all right. Gucci Mustard is asking the real questions. They say, do you own so many Zoyas to collect them all, or do you actually wear all the polishes you own? In general, do you buy with the intention of wearing or collecting? For Zoya specifically, I do buy with the intention of collecting and comparing. I do try to wear as many of my polishes as I can, so I don't think that I buy any polish and think that I will never wear it by any means, but I also know that I'm like buying polishes at a faster rate than I can wear them, if that makes sense. But I really do have this like a strong inner desire to be able to compare all of Zoya's shades. And I honestly think like if they discontinue 100 shades, I will probably sell those 100 polishes. Like I don't feel like I need to hold on to them. That's not like the kind of collector that I feel like, but I really do want to make comparisons and I want to, you know, provide that information. I have so much fun comparing polishes, even just for myself, even if nobody watched my videos. I think those are the kind of videos I would still make because they're so fun for me to look for small differences and figure out how similar or different polishes are. So I don't know. I hope that answers that question. Do I think that like you should buy every single Zoya polish? No. I mean, if you want to, sure, you know, everybody should do what makes them happy. But I don't think that just because I do it, everybody else should do it too. Like that's kind of why I want to do the comparisons, is so that you can figure out which ones you really like and not buy ones that you don't like. So they also asked if it's not too intrusive, what do I do for a living? I've mentioned in previous videos that I move around schools for my job or something like that. So I was a teacher and administrator for about 7 years, and now I work at a nonprofit that is school adjacent. We support in schools, but I don't work directly in a school anymore as of about a month and a half ago. So that's a relatively new change for me. I'm really, so far, really happy in my new job. I really like it, but I did work in a school-based setting for 7 years. I taught and then was also a school administrator for a couple years. All right, polish related question. Emily asks, what brand has my all-time favorite brush? Good question. My all-time favorite brush. So I really like Palette Polish has a long, thin, super easy to manipulate brush. It's like kind of similar to Zoya's. It's a little bit thicker than Zoya's, not a lot, but a little bit. And it's a little bit longer and like more flexible. I don't know. I will link one of my swatch videos for Palette Polish up above because I think you should see it in action to understand what I'm talking about, but I think it's probably my favorite brush. My nail beds are kind of like long and narrow, and so some of the super wide brushes like Kale Polish and Orly, actually it's like hard for me. Sometimes I flood my cuticles because the brush is so wide. I know that there are people out there with wider nail beds than I have, and they really like those brushes, but for me, I just find them a little bit challenging. So I actually don't mind the original Zoya brush. But my favorite brush is something more like palette polish that's a little bit more like flexible. Yeah. Somebody else wants to know, have I considered doing YouTube as my career? Definitely not. I feel like making videos is so much work. And I mean, to be honest, like AdSense doesn't pay that well. So I feel like I don't even want to think about what you would have to do to make this your career. Right now, it's just something that I really enjoy doing. And if I come to a point where I don't enjoy it anymore, then I probably won't do it anymore. But as for right now, I'm really having a blast doing it. Dominique Andre wants to know if I buff my nails. I do actually buff my nails, but I don't buff them all. My pointer and my index finger on both hands still have some issues peeling. When I started using the Orly nail strengthener last fall, like around November time, my nails got so much stronger, so much healthier, so much better. And then I started using Bliss Kiss back in January, using it consistently. And those two things have done a lot for my nails, but I still get some peeling on these two fingers on both hands. And I don't know why, but I will, if I see kind of some separation happening, I will buff until it's smooth. And I have found that that makes a really big difference. So I don't necessarily buff like all my nails, but I do buff just kind of the tips of the ones that I notice are peeling. I don't know if that's like a manicurist approved technique, but that's what I do. Teresa Zubia wants to know, what's my favorite Zoya polish so far that I've bought this year? Woof. That's so hard. I'm just gonna think about the ones that were released this year, and I think my favorite, I mean, I kind of feel like I have to say Walker, but I do love that polish. But I think the one that I'm happiest that Zoya released this year is probably B. I feel like they were really missing that like lighter yellow in their collection, and the formula on that one I think is pretty good for a yellow like that, especially if you use the wide brush. So I would say B is probably the one that I'm like happiest that Zoya added to their collection this year. But generally, I've been really happy with Zoya releases this year. I feel like there are a lot more variety. There's a lot more variety in color and finish. I'm really happy with 2019 so far, but I also felt that way about 2018. And then when the fall collection came out, I was real sad. There were a lot of pinks in that collection. So I'm gonna, hold my breath until the August collection comes out and see what the fall looks like. Terry Anton wants to know, can I show us my nail polish setup and storage? I've actually done a video like that before, and it's a couple months old now, but I haven't really changed that much, so I'll link it up above. Definitely go check it out. It's pretty much the same now. I could do an updated one in the next couple months, but it's pretty much the same as what it was when I did it back in like December, January time. Somebody wants to know, what's my favorite brand other than Zoya? It's so hard. I feel like I really like Cirque polishes. I have just been blown away by all of their finishes, all of their colors. I really, really like them. Another brand that I really like is Orly. I feel like they do more, I don't know, they kind of push the button a little bit more than Zoya does. They do a lot more neons, they do more like interesting finishes. They had 2 glitter toppers this year in their summer collection. So I feel like Orly, for a mainstream brand, kind of pushes the envelope a little bit more than Zoya does. I would guess that because they're not in as many salons as Zoya is, their audience is a little bit different. So I think those are probably my favorite brands. Smith Sisters wants to know, what's my reason for buying vegan nail polish? Am I vegan? I am vegan. I have been vegan since 2006. So I've been vegan for a long time. I was still in high school at that point in time. Almost done, but I was still in high school at that point in time. And I went vegan in 2006, and I have been vegan ever since. So what is that, 13 years almost? Marie B wants to know, what are my favorite neon polishes? I've been thinking about doing a video on this, but I haven't yet. I don't have a ton of neon polishes, honestly. I really enjoyed recently Ballad of Lemons from Polish. That's like a super bright yellow. And then Pizzazz from Glam Polish. That's also a super bright yellow. My favorite neons from Zoya are probably Paz, which is the like piece in Spanish. It's like the orange one that's not from the Ultra Brights collection. It's a different one. And then I really like Mira Jane from the Ultra Brights collection. It's not really neon, but it's my favorite from that collection. And then probably, I don't know. I really don't have that many. I really like 305 from Kale Polish and like Pistachio from Palette Polish. These ones that are this like super bright yellow chartreuse. I don't know if this is neon per se, but I do really like this kind of color family. Okay, so those are all the questions from YouTube. So exciting. I'm gonna pull up my Instagram questions and see if I can answer a couple of them. I think there are some repeats because we're at almost 20 minutes and I don't want this video to be like an hour long. That does not sound fun for anybody. All right, someone would love to hear about my other hobbies. My other hobbies include cooking. I really like to cook with my husband. After I film this video, I'm gonna go make some strawberry jam. We get a farm share every week and we also get a fruit share during the summer, and I bought extra strawberries this week so that we can make some jam. You know, we get a farm share, we're vegan, we eat a lot of vegetables, but the farm share really like pushes us to be creative and make, you know, things that we wouldn't necessarily make. We made our own like scallion pancakes a couple weeks ago. I've made a bunch of I like that stuff a lot. I also really enjoy sewing. I have not been sewing as much recently. I think I was like in a place where my creative juices were just getting funneled somewhere else, but I'm trying to get back into sewing, and I sew garments mostly. I made my wedding dress when I got married 4 years ago almost, and so I think those are pretty much my only hobbies. Steph wants to know, do I ever give my nails a break from color? I don't really. Every once in a while, if I am like home on a Saturday and I'm not going anywhere and I know I'm going to be swatching polishes later, or I just don't really like feel like putting something on, I will do like just a base coat, just my nail strengthener, and then just a top coat. I don't like to have it with nothing on because I feel like the polish, or at least a base and top coat, protects the nails a little bit more if I like bump them or crack them or something. So I usually go with something on. Ooh, Loopy Frog asking the good questions. She says, are there any Zoyas that you don't like? Yep, there are. I recently swatched the Ultra Brights collection. That video will be up soon. Didn't like that many of them, to be honest. Not my favorites. Some of the older ones, the formulas are just not as good as their new ones. They also have some shimmers that I think are just like kind of watery, like clementine. I don't like it. I'm gonna try it again because I feel like maybe I just was in a bad mood when I first tried it, but I don't love that one. I've thought about doing a video about Zoya polishes that I don't like, and I decided not to because I felt like it was just too negative. I was like, I don't need to have a whole video that's all negative on my channel, but I think that's a really good question. Steph wants to know, what's the meaning behind my handle, Olive Ave Nails? Olive Ave is a street that means a lot to me, and nails are what I talk about. So Olive Ave is short for like Olive Avenue. It's a street that has meaning to me, and so that's where I came up with that. Somebody wants to know, nail care regimen, what do I do to take care of my nails? And so I'll answer this question and then end right there. I link down below most of the products that I use. I use a glass nail file, and I usually file or shape my nails like every day or every other day. Pretty much anytime I change my polish, I file and shape my nails so that there are no like snags or, you know, like places that can get caught and then break. I buff if they are peeling a little bit. I'll buff off the kind of like peely part so that it's nice and smooth, and again, nothing can snag or pull or break. I use Bliss Kiss cuticle oil, oh my gosh, like 4 times a day, as much as I can. And then when I'm swatching, I use the Orly Cuticle Therapy Cream. This stuff is amazing, and I'll use this when I'm swatching because it doesn't leave my cuticles looking super oily in photos, and it's like a super intense, like rehydrating balm for after, you know, I use like acetone. And then other than that, that's pretty much all I do. I don't do that much. I do take a biotin supplement, but it's like in a B vitamin supplement that I take anyways, and so I get extra biotin, which is supposed to be good for your nails, but I don't really know if it does anything different. And then the main staple in my routine is using the Orly Nail Strengthener, which I also link down below. There are not a lot of vegan strengtheners out there, and strengtheners work, they're different for every person, right? Like your body chemistry is different than my body chemistry, so something's gonna work for you that's not gonna work for me, and vice versa. But this one works really, really well for me, and I will use it until they stop making it, basically. Okay, cool. I hope you liked this video. If you have other questions for me, leave them down below. I know this one was a little bit chattier, so I hope that you enjoyed hanging out and chatting a little bit about nail polish. As always, thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you will come back and chat with me again in the next one.